All right, we're going to talk about heat chemistry today. That's thermochemistry. There are two lessons in this one. We're going to go through some definitions for the first lesson and then few examples, and then next video will be the second lesson. All right, first thing, we're going to talk about the specific heat capacity and calorimetry. And the main goals, learning goals here is heat transfer, what that is, specific heat capacity, what that is, then definition of it, and a calorimetry calculations. The calorimetry calculation is just talks about the amount of heat that is being given off or received. Okay, endothermic versus exothermic process, and then how to solve the heat equation. All right, core formula. Here is the core formula for this one right here. This is the core formula for that. Q is equal to mc delta T. And here are all the variables. Q is the heat energy in joules. Mass is in gram for that specific compound or substance. And then C is called the specific heat capacity that every substance will have that. Compound elements doesn't matter. And the unit is joule per gram times Celsius. And it has to be that. And what does that mean? That is raising the temperature of 1 gram of substance by 1 degree Celsius. That's what the specific heat capacity for every substance means. The next thing, delta T in here, T for temperature, remember it's in Celsius, not Kelvin. Okay, this is the common mistake students make. They think that that's a Kelvin, but it's not. It has to be in Celsius. And delta T, which is change in temperature, is 𝑇final minus 𝑇initial. Anytime you're talking about the change in anything, you always start with the final value, subtract away from the initial value, which is right there. Okay, so few important notes before we start the example. One is that heat gained is positive Q. So when you're gaining heat is positive. When you're losing heat, that's Q is negative. Remember, the Q is that from the formula right here. This is the core formula for the heat equation. Okay, so and then temperature is always delta T and is always T final minus T initial. And every substance will have the heat capacity, specific heat capacity, which is right here. For water, for example, is 4.18. That value for any substance in the question will be given to you. All right. So, and then remember, units matters. You must stay with the same unit. If there is a kg, you have to change it to gram. If the kilojoule, you have to change it to joule. All right. All right. Now let's start with a question. Here is the first question. Finding the heat energy. Here's the formula we have. How much heat is needed to raise the temperature of 250 grams of water from 20 degrees to 75 degrees? Let's write up what we do know. So here, all of the information we have, we also calculated delta T, that's T final minus T initial. Here is 55 degrees. Now we're going to go ahead and substitute it into the formula and get the value for Q. So Q is equal to 250 gram times 4 point specific heat capacity, 4.818 joule per gram times Celsius, and delta T is 55 degrees. Excellent. And the answer is 57475 joules. And leaving it in the scientific notation would be 5.75 times 10 to the power of 4 joules. And if you really want to leave it in kilojoules, you multiply it by 1000 and you can also get the kilojoule. Okay, I'll leave you with that because that's just easy to do. Okay, next question. So here's example 2, finding final temperature. We have the formula again, 150 gram metal. Metal sample absorbs 9,000 joules of heat. The metal has a specific heat capacity of 0.45 joule per gram times Celsius. If the initial temperature was 22 degrees Celsius, what is the final temperature? All right, so this one we have to solve for delta T. So let's rewrite this formula first. Q is equal to mc delta T. We're solving this equation for delta T, so we have to divide everything by mc, and then so delta T, the formula for that will be Q on top divided by MC. This is the equation that we're going to use, okay? So now let's write up what we do know. So we have all the information written up here. Now we're going to plug these numbers, all of these numbers right here, into this equation and solve for delta T. Now, the easiest way to do this question is solving for delta T first. Then we're going to go ahead and find out what delta T is, which is the difference between the T final and T initial. And then that would be it. Okay, let's plug numbers in. So the delta T, we get 133.3 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's the change in temperature. We want to find what T final is. So remember, delta T was T final minus T initial. Okay, so in here, we just have to solve for TF, and that is TF is equal to delta T and then plus the initial. Okay, and here it is. So we have 133.3 degrees plus the initial 22 degrees Celsius. And the answer to that would be 155.3 degrees Celsius. That is the T final. Okay, excellent. Let's look at another question. So this example is finding mass. How much water in terms of mass can be heated from 18 degrees to 60 degrees using 25,000 joule of energy, right? Because mass does matter, right? It's directly related, directly proportional to the how much energy it needs, how much heat it needs. All right. So let's write up what we do know, and then we have to solve for mass. So this formula right here, let's change that to the formula for mass. So mass will be, you divide everything by, so Q divided by C delta T. Okay. And now let's write up what we do know. So all this information we do have, and now the only thing we need to figure out, we need to figure out delta T, and that's T final minus T initial. That's 60 degrees minus 18 degrees, and that would be 48 degrees Celsius. Now we're going to go ahead and plug in the values into the formula for mass. Okay, let's do that. Mass equals, so here it is. When you do the math, you get 142.2 grams of water. And that's basically it. Now, I did not put in the specific heat capacity unit here for 4.18, but that's what that is. Make sure that you double check that again. This value should be 0.4 gram. Just double checked again. Okay, let's look at another example. Now, this example is hot and cold water mixing. This is a very good example. It's a bit harder. 100 grams of hot water at 90 degrees is mixed with 200 grams of cold water at 20 degrees. Find the final temperature. All right, so let's write up what we do know. We're going to use the same formula, just that we're going to use for heat loss and heat gain. But let's write up what we do know first. So here is what all the information that is given to us is right here. Now we're going to rewrite this formula for both, for the heat loss and heat gain. Now, knowing that delta T, remember, delta T is T final minus T initial. The T final for this mixture is the same for both. Okay, that's what that will be. So let's write it up. We're going to write up the MC delta T for both. So that is 100, that's gram, and then specific heat capacity for water. And then this is T final minus 90 degrees. This equation is for the heat loss, HL, okay? That's what that is. Now, for heat gain, we're going to write the same thing. Now we're going to write the equation for heat gain. So one thing to pay attention is that for the heat loss, the value must be negative. Okay, so this value has to be negative. So if it is equal to the heat gain, so it would be minus of the heat gain, and we're going to rewrite the formula, plug in the values for the M2. So what is that? Well, that is 200 gram, okay, and then multiplied by 4.18, And then this time we have 20 degrees Celsius and we have Tfinal minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is the new equation that we have to deal with. Okay, so that negative is outside, but it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go ahead and solve now. So we just multiply everything first and simplify both sides of this equation. So you will get this, the specific heat capacity, you can just cancel them. Okay, they divide. You don't have to worry about that. And now you have to just multiply through each one. Okay, and then collect like terms and solve for Tfinal. So we get 100, I'm going to remove the units. 100 TF minus 9,000 is equal to negative 200 TF plus 4,000. Okay, on that side. Collect like terms, we get 300 times TF is equal to, and then 9,000 to the other side, and 4,000, you'll end up getting 13,000. Divide both sides by 300, 300, and the final temperature will be 13,000 divided by 300, which would be 43.3 degrees Celsius. That is the final temperature when you mix this 100 grams of hot water at 90 degrees with 200 grams of cold water at 20 degrees. All right, so here it is. All right, okay, let's talk about common mistakes that most students make. You forget units, or using the wrong temperature subtraction, mixing Celsius and Kelvin correctly, forgetting sign conversion. Make sure, remember, when you gain heat, that's positive. When you lose heat, that's negative. And of course, not being able to solve the equation for a specific variable. Okay, I hope this was useful. Check out the mini quiz in the description below, and then come back for the next lesson in this series. Okay, the next one, lesson number 2. Okay, until next time.